Yeah.
Hello, welcome to the New York Parrot Literary Corner. I'm Dustin Pickering, your noble and honest host. Take a look at our anthology coming out soon. That will be available through PayPal pre-order for $17, and you can get in touch with me if you have any questions. Today, we have Dr. Jahangir Alam Rustom, who obtained the degree of Bachelor in Science in Agriculture from the Sher-e-Bangla Agriculture University, Dhaka, Bangladesh, in 1996, and an MS degree in Environmental Science from Bangladesh Agriculture University in 2012. He was awarded with a PhD degree on climate change from the same university in 2017. He served in some national and international organizations with an exciting reputation, holding some important and senior positions. He is also an environmental scientist. He obtained at least 20 research findings, which were published in some distinguished national and international journals across the globe. Dr. Rustom is a literature and music loving romantic poet. He has written 8 books of English poetry that have already been published and earned impressive distinction at home and abroad. He is associated with more than 30 human rights, environmental, disaster, and poetry organizations across the world and holds different categories of posts and positions. For writing romantic poetry, he is known as the poet in love in the poetry kingdom. Thanks for joining us today, Dr. Rustom. How are you?
I am fine. Thank you.
So,
Greetings from Bangladesh
greetings. I'm
to
here
the
from
listeners,
Texas.
viewers, and organizers.
Thank you for joining us today, and it's wonderful to speak with you. And we'll talk a little bit about the world and how it and its events, and how poetry can help heal us and so forth. So we shall have a good conversation about that. So how can literature and how can poetry address climate change?
Thank you. Climate change is a big issue.
Mm-hmm.
Scientists is predicting that at the at the end of this century, temperature will rise uh, about zero point 0.5 degrees Celsius. If it is held, then lowland area of the world will go underwater. It will be about 1 meter, and drought and cyclone, tornadoes will increase, and its bad effect will destroy the beautiful world.
Mm-hmm.
Scientists also suggest them that we should start afforestation. We should use renewable energy instead of fossil fuel, like we are burning oil, gas, petrol.
Mm-hmm.
So I think poet and writer should play a vital role to minimize this bad effect. They can write through their poetry, their novel, their short story. They can afford these things through their writings. In this way, poetry and literature can play a vital role to address climate change.
So do you think that literary endeavors have an impact on how people think enough that they would reflect on the climate issues? Or there's an entire branch of literature and poetry, like eco-poetics. Have you ever participated in stuff like that, and writing poetry like that?
Yes, poet and writer, when they meet in different meeting, workshop, seminar, they can discuss the issue about climate change, that we should write on climate change that are destroying our beautiful art. So this way they can minimize and play a vital role to minimize the bad effect of climate change.
So, how did you develop the reputation of poet in love?
Okay, it's a long story. Over 15 years, I am writing in different poetry platforms. I posted many uh, poems on love and romantic poem. Some of my Facebook friends from different countries, they were telling me love poet, and love poet. Then finally, poet in love. In my country, there is also some poet call me poet in love. As you will happy to know that I have written 10 English poetry books. Uh, Among them, 7 are romantic poetry books. You can see there is here is Charms of Love, then Dream of Love, then Shadow of Love, then Love in Life. It also written by me. I have also write many romantic poem and a poem right. Its name is Love. Probably it will be the best poem of this centuries. I can recite this poem. If you tell me, I can recite.
Yes, please do.
Okay, thank you.
We seem to have lost you on video, but just go ahead and keep going.
The poem name is Love. Love is an emblem of an ever-existing peace that grows in loving mind, blows like a cold breeze. Love is a preparation of an ever-serving marriage. Love is blind, often denies any race, religion, or age. True love never considers the state of being poor or rich. False love flies away quickly, keeps away from bliss. Love is a heavenly approach that comes from heaven, as blooming flowers glaze from flowers' garden. Bond of two hearts turned into a blooming love that grows in a moment, exists for long or above. A loving mind is always adorable and ever enthusiastic. By doing splendid work, man becomes artistic. Love creates an enthusiasm in an adoring mind, like no other hue or color but its own and lone kind. Love dazzles in a moonlit night in a lover's heart that bears the loving spirit to turn into a unique art. Love never lost, becomes a memory after death. Natural love is invaluable thing that gets in breath. Love is eternal, often treated as a legendary thing. A blessing of life is love for each human being. Love has been honored every time and everywhere. Love neither is doused by water nor damaged by fire.
Wow, that's powerful. Thank you for sharing that. Would you like to share another poem with us?
Yes, I can. You are telling about climate change and
Yes.
many environmental pollution is held in the whole world. I collect these issues and write a poem. The name of the poem is Environmental Pollution.
Okay. You're watching the New York Parrot Literary Corner. A wonderful guest today addressing climate change and love.
Environmental pollution. Can I recite now?
Yes.
Okay. Today, environment is polluted extremely, a vital and crucial issues to discuss. All want pollution-free environment, no one ever in bias. Temperature and sea level is increasing for changing climate. Flood, drought, cyclone are increased, save the earth's fate. Every living thing belongs to its specific ecology by sharing natural elements, maintaining the ideas of sociology. Soil, water, and air are getting polluted by poisonous pesticide. Water level of sea is increasing, flooding away low areas by the tide. Road and streets are dirty, often with solid and dirty waste. Agricultural lands are decreasing, urbanization is a threat. Motor vehicles and machineries are polluting the fresh air by setting up open heap and throwing waste in the river. Polythene is a harmful element. We should it ban. Green economy should include as a healthy environment organ. CFC from trees, methane gas from modern high-price cultivation that pierces ozone layer by their uninterrupted irritation. Though the whole and parts ultraviolet rays are coming, by threatening ozone layer, dreadful diseases are initiating. For polluting environment, greenery places become desert. Plants die here and there, lucrative sceneries lost their art. To save the vulnerable environment, we can organize a afforestation program for ever-driving beautiful nature. The earth is peaceful and calm. To get more viable environment, we can take care of biodiversity by preserving the ecosystem, bringing back the earth from atrocity.
Thank you. That has quite a lot of issues it's addressing there. So, what are the poetry circles like in your native Bangladesh?
Yeah.
The poetry groups that are you part of any groups that, locally in your neighborhood, in your area?
Yeah, we have many poetry platform in Bangladesh.
Mm-hmm.
We are meet sometimes. We meet in a book fair, a book festival, then unwrapping ceremony of book. We meet, discuss the issue arising in our country, and we solve through our writings. We write poetry, novel, story, and we uphold these issues to the countrymen and world people also.
Interesting. So, what differences do you think there are between literary writing and science writing?
Literature writing and science is quite different issues. Science writing is coming from basic science, that is true. And literature comes from passion,
Right.
imaginable thing or idea, literature comes. When we conducting research, there will be, we should collect data, then analyzing them. From analyze, we get result. This result we publish in the journal.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get recognition. But in poetry, only passion is working. Suppose rain is coming down. We are writing a poem on rain. At midnight, we are thinking about some issues. Write a poetry through the elements of these issues. So it's totally different from literature to science.
So what are some of your findings in environmental science that we should heed as a world culture?
Yes, I am finding, and I found many results from my research work. I found methane gas emission from rice field, from solid waste, from I work also on flood, drought, and get many results and basic ideas from them, and I publish through journal.
That's quite interesting. So when you're writing poetry, do you listen to music, and what music do you like to listen to?
Yes, I sometimes hear music. That time I can't write fluently in the rhythm of the music. I can write, and it's give me inspiration to write more and more.
Is there any kind of music you like specifically that inspires you that way?
Yeah, I like folk song, soft pop, solo music, spiritual music. I always hear this type of music.
So where do you think your inspiration from writing comes from, and what are some of the central ideas you communicate in your poetry?
The idea is always in my mind on love. That is romantic poet I write. When, as example, when two birds are flying in a row, or two bumblebees dancing over the garden, I see this and I try to write on this issue, and it's a good, it's make a good poem.
Interesting. So it's just like, just these moments that you capture in life, as you say, the bumblebee in the garden, just something simple like that, and that would inspire you to write a poem about that. That's interesting. Are there any ideas or anything, like that you're trying to communicate in your writing to an audience?
Yes, of course. I write many poems on bumblebee issues, honeybee, sometimes birds, flying birds. I have also a poet named Flying Birds. Whenever I see this kind of beautiful scenery, I capture in my mind, and then I write at midnight or when rain is coming down.
Right.
That time I can write fluently.
That's quite interesting. So you belong to several international organizations related to not only to poetry, but science and agriculture. So what are some of the most fruitful organizations you belong to that you find inspire you and encourage you to continue your mission?
I am engaged in over 40 poetry platforms Some poetry platforms, uh, publish my life sketches with some with some poems, romantic poems, uh, and sometimes interviewed by me in local newspaper in abroad also. There are many questionnaire they send me and I give answer, and they published them with my photography.
That's quite interesting. I think it's great, you know, to communicate with the world through various publications and you know, organizations that help you communicate with the rest of the world what you're trying to say to, you know, get the message out about, you know, climate issues and beauty and love and all of these things that you write about. So it's nice it's been nice talking with you today, Dr. Rustom, and we're going to go ahead and close the program out. But thank you for joining us again. And if you would like to close out with a few thank yous or um, some inspiring message to share with the audience when there's time for that, if you'd like to say anything like that.
Okay, thank you very much for giving me a chance to join an interview with you. I think you will give me another opportunity to talk with you if possible.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much again, Dr. Rustom, for joining us today. This has been the New York Parrot Literary Corner. We were in Bangladesh today, so keep an eye out. Watch tomorrow and see where we end up. We may be all over the planet. We may be in Lebanon or somewhere, you never know. So keep an eye out and subscribe to the channel. We're looking for 1 million subscribers. You may be one of them. You want to be one of them, trust me, because then you know what the creative minds of the world are doing. And keep an eye out on our anthology coming out soon. It should be available August 1st. If you haven't pre-ordered, you're missing out. Your pre-order benefit will get you $1 off and a cheaper shipping rate than Amazon. And plus, more money will come to us as an organization, and that'll be wonderful for all of us to benefit from that. So get in touch with me. You can also donate paypal.me/nyparrot, and that's straight to the organization. And if you want to be on our program, just remember to write to me, Dustin Pickering, literary corner at newyorkparrot.com. That is literary corner at newyorkparrot.com. And please, again, subscribe. If you have not subscribed, you're missing out quite a benefit of learning about the world's literary scene and what's going on out there, what's being said and written. So this has been the New York Parrot Literary Corner. I'm Dustin Pickering, your host, and I am signing off. This is the voice for humanity, New York Parrot.